Hey guys, Black Rose here again. I guess the video gods have me staying in a gameplay zone, which is not a horrible zone to be in because it gives me a chance to kind of, you know, get work off of my mind and figure out where I'm going in my next video for all three worlds. For those of you actually following my storyline that I'm making, I just released the first part of episode 7 for Warring Minds, which I put for Black Lightning on the Moby Dick with Whitebeard and Marco. So, yeah, that was fun to figure that out. It was a very short video, so I apologize about that. Hopefully tomorrow, while I have the day off, I'll try to get the second part up and going and maybe even get it posted depending on how long it takes. Um, Part 2 does not continue with Black Lightning. In fact, I shift to a whole different part of the scene that I'm working on. It involves um, the Battle Marine Forward. And yes, I'm going to give a small spoiler away. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. That's the only hint I'm going to be giving you for episode 7. Because I need to. Well, I don't need to, but I would like to get to the part. Um, I'm kind of wanting to be somewhat in between before I do the next episode for Moon Shadow. Because the next episode I have in mind for that takes place kind of sort of during the fight that is at Marineford. Um, let's see, for the realm, I believe I'm at the part where I need another temporary side story for somebody else, um, which I believe I decided I was going to go with a new character based off of a past video. So I'll work on that with the realm. And then, yeah, hopefully I can at least get. My plan is to at least get part 2 for episode 7 out for Warring Minds, if not also part 3. Um, Before I do the next episode for Moon Shadow, but we'll just see what my video wheel decides I'm gonna do. I'm trying to stay in a video mood so I don't end up going so long without putting anything out. I'm trying to get myself out of, I guess, instead of a writer's block, it's more like a video block. Um, So the only thing I've known that works for me to get out of a video block mood and a writer block mood is simply just doing it. Yeah, so that's kind of what's going on here. Sorry for the long chatter before the episode. Um, we already accepted. Oh, here's the photo with Paul and our character. I am 99.9% sure that the one in the green is Paul, because based off of the picture for the game of what Kowalski is supposed to look like, and based off of the family photo in the house. The one in the brown should be Mr. Kowalski. Anyway, in the last video, I went downstairs and I accepted the mission for Trial by Blood. So we should be good to just go ahead and interact with our truck here. And you can see there's now 2 missions. When you complete an area, it'll show up as like a white tuft of grass. That means you've fully completed that area, which is good. But it doesn't mean you can't go back in case you missed something in the last playthrough. As you're going through, you can always go back to locations if you want to replay them just to get more experience and get more stuff for stealing and different stuff just so you can upgrade your equipment faster. But if you do everything, or at least most of everything that I do, if not a little bit more, you should be good to continue on. So, enough chit chat. Let's go to Trial by Blood because this is going to take a minute. So, to kind of recap, the mafia boss we now work for found out that his, I believe, cousin anyway, I believe this is his cousin. So, oh, I thought you said King. He said Mr. Cleaner. So in Trial by Blood, uh, there's a um, he really does get mad. There's an achievement that says "Call me maybe." Don't respond to Big Jim's call by the walkie-talkie at the beginning of the level. Just ignore him for a little while. Okay. Okay, so it says don't respond to him in the beginning of the level. Just ignore him for a little while. Um, so I probably didn't just get that achievement. I think to get it, you were actually supposed to just like go up to this and push it to interact to get it to open without answering him. So my apologies on that if that is actually how you were supposed to do that. This walkthrough that I'm peeking at just to make sure I don't forget anything is very vague on how to get some of these achievements. So if you don't get every achievement in the game, it's like any game out there, it really doesn't matter. The whole point is to relax, have fun, not really worry or stress about what you get and what you don't get. Because what's the point of a game if you can't have at least a little fun? I may try to 100% the game on a side note just to say I at least 100%ed it once. I'm at least going to get all the missions to 100% minus the small achievements here and there for like flushing the toilets and all that. But since we already got the flushing the toilet part of the scenario going, we should be good for that one. But the rest of it should not really matter. They're just small side achievements. It doesn't really matter if you get them all or not. User's preference. If you figure out how to do the whole call me maybe, maybe send me a little link in the chat to let me know. But like I said, I'm not too worried about 100%ing the game. I just want to at least 100% the levels, get all the secrets, get all the cassettes, all the main things that would really be cool at the end, because I believe if you collect everything, there's like a special ending video that we don't normally get. So I want to actually see if we can get that. Anyway, so this is a women's locker room. It is going to be an essential part to completing this level, but right now, unfortunately, it's locked on the other side. So we're going to have to go a different way to get in there. So we'll be back. This one leads to obviously the pool area, and you can see from the blood splatter there's already a mess on the door. This is where you can go one of two ways. Either way, it really doesn't matter. You can either choose to go into the men's locker room and fill up your water bucket and maybe put in detergent if you want to use the detergent. I personally don't, because it seems to slow the cleaning process down when it's got the detergent on it. And it seems like it takes longer to get it to clean up. Or you can go get crazy busy and just start cleaning the other side of this door, because all this blood is on the other side. If you choose to do it my way, you'll end up on the other side of this door anyway, and we end up opening it because we need it open to drag all the bodies out to the elevator anyway. So like I said, it really doesn't matter. The only one to keep in mind when you first enter this area is that the women's locker room will be locked until we access it from this side, which I will show you. So I personally like to always start off my mission by cleaning up what blood stains I can find as I go, because there is a lot of blood in this level. And as a crime scene cleaner, you want to... What am I hearing? Oh, it's my cat. Sorry. It's like, what is making all that noise? Gotta love cats. Anyway, as a crime scene cleaner, our job is to get this whole place cleaned up and looking ready for customers and whatever else may make an appearance here once we leave. We never get to really, come here, see any of the places we clean up get reopened, or see what becomes of it. So that's kind of a bummer, but it also kind of makes sense because you don't want to go over there and go, hey, my name is Mr. Kowalski. I was the one that made this place look like a really bloody murder didn't take place. Yeah, that would not be a good conversation to have with a client, with a new owner. So in here is the toilet that we need to flush for the down the river achievement. So we'll go ahead and flush that. Oh, look, money. I did not know that there was money in here. Anyway, there's really nothing to clean in the bathroom other than to grab the money and to fill the water. There's really not much to do here at the moment. It's saying we can use the lamp to illuminate this area, but the thing to keep in mind is how you place it, because I have still yet to figure out where to put this to where you can see all of them. So in each of these lockers, there is a secret or a key to a different locker in the women's restroom, or just random stuff to steal and evidence for what's going on here, or rather, what did happen here. The only one that's in green is this little guy, M048. So for now, our job is to just go ahead and pick up all these little cigarettes, because the game will say, hey, you forgot to pick up trash here, because the game thinks the loose cigarettes is trash, even though the pack is not considered trash, which makes no sense. So this is our first locker key, which is W042, which, if I remember correctly, M042 is not in this one. Let's see. Like I said, trying to figure out where to put this is always interesting. I've sometimes put it here. Sometimes it helps. Okay, that's 017, 014, 34, 05, and okay. So yeah, I was right. So the one key card we got access for the locker is going to be in the women's locker room. So that's your first hint that yeah, thank you, creepy robot voice. That's going to be your first hint that, hey, don't forget that there's actually a second locker room literally right here. Now, normally I wouldn't just go rushing over here to take care of this, but it is good to go ahead and get this door open, because between being over there and over here, we're going to be bouncing between the water fill stations for both the women and the male restroom. There is another toilet in here, but I'm not sure if we're supposed to flush the one in the women's bathroom or just the one in the men's, so I will double check that later. There is, okay, W006 is green, so that's probably nothing to worry about. There's 09 that's popped open. 33 is popped open. 018. Here we go. So here is the locker for the key card we got in the men's restroom. Looks like it's mostly loose cigarettes and stuff to steal, which is fine. All right. So since we've got a few open spots here, let's go ahead and open. This really just has miscellaneous stuff that means nothing. Here's some money. There's nothing around here. Okay, so this one's literally nothing. This was just random stuff. This one has money and miscellaneous whatever else. So I'm gonna try to keep the lockers I've already opened open, just so I know, hey, I already got this. Oh look, there's a bar soap. That way when we come in and we're looking for a locker, I'll automatically know, okay, anything with a red light and closed is more than likely the locker I'm on the hunt for, just to make it easier. Oh, there's my right here too. But this is the door that was locked earlier, so now we can come and go this way, which is a direct access to the elevator as well. I like to keep this door open just because we're going to be going in between the locker rooms a lot, and sometimes while I'm cleaning, I tend to forget that, hey, I have a shortcut into the men's locker room that I can use to get in there to get at the lockers that I need to get into. Instead, I decide I want to go the long/hard way and go through the women's bathroom or the women's locker room, bathroom, and gain access that way. Did I get it all? Nope, I didn't. Haha. Okay, where's that input? There we go. Okay. Yay. So I just did a little cleaner site to make sure I grabbed. Oh, come on. Pull out the trash can. Thank you. To make sure that I got all the blood off of that door just because I don't want to have to worry about it later. Oh, there's a 025. I believe that's in the men's locker room. The one thing I've kind of noticed in the first round through this game is the locker keys are and I kind of realized it looking at it now, but that last key card was almost like a reddish pink. So I'm thinking that the what I missed last time, which is an easy thing to miss when you're not really thinking about it, you're just going, okay, I need to clean this, I need to search here, I need to search there. I think the key cards are actually color coordinated because that one was blue, where the last one was pink, almost like a pinkish red. So I'm thinking maybe, and this is just my theory, but maybe they're actually color coordinated for which locker room they're supposed to be used in. Because we actually have more lockers to open in the men's locker room than we do in the women's. So I'm wondering if maybe the pinkish reddish keys are for the women's the women's locker room. Sorry, I keep calling it a restroom. It is technically a restroom because there's a bathroom in there. But I'm wondering if the reddish pink ones are for the women's, and the blue is for in here. Because I believe 025 should be, that's 017. Yep. Yep. So the blue is definitely for the men's locker room. So there's going to be 3 more blue and at least 1 more red. 2 more red. So we'll just say the girls is red, boys is blue. So we'll go with that theory of, okay, if I find a key card that's this color, it's for this locker room. If it's this color, it's the other one. Because, yeah, that so totally makes sense. Yuck. Anyway, so like I said, that's my theory on the cards for the locker rooms. Whether I'm right or not remains to be seen. We'll just take it as it comes. There we go. Okay, so this is the sauna slash tanning salon. We'll worry about that room here in a minute. Here's another piece of evidence. I want to say the 024 is pink, but I'm not sure. So this one we'll have to just look in both areas just to be safe. In this section, you'll definitely want to get the UV lamp to sort of help you see what you're doing, because it's kind of hard to see where all the blood stains are, at least on the floor. Uh, so our goal for this neck of the woods puzzle is to basically get this area behind the tanning bed cleaned up, and then work on the wall because you can see the wall splatter easy enough. And then we'll work on Anubis here, and then we'll clean up around the front of the tanning bed, and then we'll finally get our lovely charred lady out of the tanning bed and haul it to the elevator so that way we can clean the tanning bed, complete this section of the tanning salon. Um, yeah, we're learning very quickly why no one really messes with the mafia boss we're working for, because if this is what happens to family that betrays him, yeah, it's no wonder Kowalski is deathly afraid of what he would do to him if he all of a sudden goes, "Hey, Mr. Kowalski, I want to be a good dad to my little girl. I need to quit this lifestyle just so I don't have to look her in the face one day and go, hey, in order to pay for your life saving medical treatment, Daddy had to break a few laws." Yeah, that's not a conversation you want to have with your little girl, which I don't blame him one bit for. Okay, okay, 024, is it in here? Yep, no, no. Okay, I was right. It was a women's locker room key card. So we'll go figure out which locker that key goes to here in a minute. For now, let's finish working on this area just so we can say we got this area completed. All right, awesome. All right. So this is the part where you can kind of just do user's preference and go, okay, I know I need to, you go over here, where you know you're like, hey, I've got all this blood and resorting of furniture and another body and this area in here to clean up, where you can actually just, focus on getting all this cleaned up before you mess with the pool. But I personally like dealing with the pool first. So, in order to get access to the pool, you gotta hack this little code machine over here, which is a lot easier said than done. 2, 8, 1. Just more on timing. Just keep in mind how many passes this makes and how many mistakes you make, because the amount of passes and mistakes you make cut down the time. And it's not like it, you know, keeps you out forever if you keep messing up. It will eventually let you do what you need to do. But yeah, you definitely don't want to beach balls. Okay, and books. You don't want to, accidentally throw um, this off, because it will restart, but it doesn't always give you the same code sequence. So you got to keep it in mind as you go. And voila, here is cassette. Try to say that too fast. Cassette number 1. Um, I am not going to try to pronounce what this is, but it's got something to do with clouds, so we'll go ahead and collect that. The computer here is pretty much useless. There's really nothing to it. So don't worry too much about it if you don't pick it up or don't do anything with it, even though it looks like you need it for like a navigation system or something. Let's see. I don't think there's really anything other than this roll of money that you need to grab. Right. So drain this, and pulling that and pushing that is going to drain the pool, but you'll want to make sure this is good and off. If you don't do it before you drain the pool, definitely turn it to fill it back up, because it seals the pipe, which is, I guess, something we have to do. This is a VIP card scanner. We don't have it on us at the moment, but we will once we clean out. I believe it was that big area over here where this guy is. If it's not there, it should be somewhere near the body that's over here or the ones in the sauna. Anyway, we'll find the VIP key card soon. If you want to, since we're done in here, I've tried to turn this off and I could never figure out how. So I'm assuming for whatever reason we're just supposed to just leave it. So I at least close the lid, just make it seem like we shut it off and close the door. You don't have to. I just do because I know I'm at least done with that area. Um, as you're cleaning up around these glasses, um, just to save yourself a lot of time in garbage bags, um, try to use a sponge just so you don't break a bunch of glasses as you go. Um, if you end up breaking them, like last time, not a big deal. Um, it just means more stuff we got to pick up before we complete the area. So just kind of keep that in mind. And like the last time I did a playthrough, did a play, not a playthrough, but the last time I played this, I forgot that I can actually upgrade my skills and my tools to where um, it won't be as hard to clean this up. So for cleaning on the mop, you can increase its resistance, which it takes longer for it to get dirty, or the strength increases how much easier it gets to mop up the floor. So I'm going to increase the strength here. I'm going to increase our cleaning speed just to save some time. And I'm going to give the sponge the strength as well. So on this one, we get to sponges later anyway, so I would say at least get an additional mop. And on the mop, yes, the resistance to stains is good, but you can get that later. So for right now, I want to increase the strength for the mop again, and as well as the sponges. So that gives us a good cleaning start for the mop and sponges, or the mops and sponge. Um, this is our playlist again, and as you can see, with us going through each uh, area, we unlock more to play as we go. And you can even set it on repeat and have it kind of skip around so that way you're not constantly listening to the same playlist in the same order. The areas will have their own music generally, but it's up to you if you want your own playlist going versus listening to whatever the game has preset to play for this area. I personally like listening to the one we can make ourselves just because it seems to um, be a little bit more soothing to my ears because I'm not listening to the same thing over and over as I'm cleaning the same area. I believe this was from the last one. Anyway, as you're unlocking more and more cassettes, or not unlocking, but finding more cassettes, um, your playlist will expand and become easier for you to do what you need to do. Let's get some fresh water. Okay. So while we're cleaning, I guess back on the subject of my other videos I've been working on. Um, I will get back into Thief eventually, I promise, because it took me a while to get back into Resident Evil 0, but I will get back into Thief as well and finish it up because we're we're not like super close to being done with the game, but we are close enough to where it's like, okay, I should be able to complete the game even if I don't do the bonus mission. Um, I know I said I would do the bonus mission just because I want to be able to at least say, hey, there's something in Thief that outside of the asylum that will get me to do a jump scare. Um, I'm not looking forward to that. Um, I will say Thief is not known to be a horror scary game, but when we get to that asylum, you'll see why it kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies every time I go in there. It's not a hard area to complete. It's just, yeah, there's things that go on in that place that it's like, can we not go in here, please? But unfortunately, we have to. Alright, come here. I think on the first mission, we just got lucky that no one knew what happened with our first guy. But I think the reason we never really have to worry about any cops or anything going forward is the fact that we work for Big Jim, and Big Jim has the police pretty much under his thumb to where, yeah, as long as we're on Jim's good side, we should be good with the cops. So I'm not gonna worry about the cops because no matter how long we take or who we're doing jobs for, even if it's one of his buddies, his daughter, or whoever in the future, um, it just seems to be that no matter what it is or how long it takes us to do it, we never run into the cops. So I'm just assuming that Big Jim says, "Hey, we had a little disagreement with some people, and I have people coming to take care of this. So if anyone makes any racket about this, keep it quiet and let me and my men handle it." And the police or whoever go, "Oh, yes, of course, Mr. Big Jim, whatever you say, Big Jim," type situation. And I'm pretty sure if he needed to turn himself in just for the time being to let things quiet down, just for the sake of quieting things down, because he's like, okay, things are getting a little too out of hand. Maybe I need to do something a little different for a little bit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they would be more than happy to do whatever he asks. Because it seems like people like Big Jim, whether it's in anime, DC, anywhere that, you would think, oh, hey, this is a mafia boss. This could make my career. Let's arrest him. End up being wrapped around their finger like a lost puppy, and they go, yes, sir, whatever you say, sir. Oh, you need us to temporarily arrest you just so you can go into hiding for a little bit, but kind of keep you safe at the same time. You got it, whatever you say, type situation. Yeah, they don't make it easy. Oh, blue. But that's just my 2 cents on that. Okay, so we just found another key card for the men's locker room and a couple things to steal. So let's go see what's in here. Like I said, in these lockers, you'll either find evidence or you'll find just random stuff to steal. Okay, that Mateo's pizza is actually kind of hilarious that we pick up because, ironically, that's a foreshadow. Here's the VIP. Okay, I forgot. It was in one of the lockers. Okay, so that should take care of all the 2 car keys I picked up for in here. And now we've got the VIP ones, so we can actually go in here and use it here. So once it says VIP access is granted, the secret doorway is now open to a secret lounge, which luckily there's no cleaning to do in there. We're basically going in there just to look around and steal a bunch of stuff, so we'll handle that area later. For this section, I use the power washer just because, whoops, it does make it a little easier. Especially to get this top part on the roof. Now, when it comes to the pool, I have tried to use this to clean the pool before. It does work, but it feels like it takes forever. So, until I get the points I need to start upgrading this to where it's faster and more capable of doing what I need it to do for the next round, I need this for a pool. Um, oh, you ran out of water. like increasing the water tank, which you fill it up like the water bucket. You take it to the water source, let it fill up, and then once it drops, you're good. Um, Once I start upgrading this, it'll be a lot more effective. Anyway, it works well in this area here just to clean the roof and the higher parts of that wall that we can't reach with the mop or the sponge. But like I said, right now it's kind of useless just because it can't really hold much water, and the power it has to clean anything is kind of pitiful. So if you plan to use it a lot in this area, just keep in mind it's not the most powerful thing right now unless you choose to upgrade it over, like, let's say the sponge like I did, or even the mop. Whoops. Did I just break these? No, I did not. Ha ha ha. Luckily, all I did was just make it go flying, not break. I gotta say, I love having two mops because now I don't have to stop mopping as much because now I have a second mop I can use until it gets dirty. Anyway, so whoops. When it comes to Warring Minds, episode 7, I know this is another spoiler, but episode 7 is going to be the last episode for season 1 for Warring Minds. And then I will be planning, or at least starting to plan, season 2. I have ideas for season 2, but I'm not sure how fast season 2 is going to be coming out, so keep that in mind, guys, that Warring Minds may actually go even more dormant for a little bit. How did this happen? Did I just not pick it back up? Maybe I didn't. I don't know. This game is weird sometimes. It's like you swear you take care of something and then you find out you didn't, and it's like, wait, what just happened? Anyway, as I was trying to say, episode 7 will be the end of Warring Minds season 1. So while I take a break from Warring Minds, while I try to figure out where I'm wanting season 2 to go, I will work on the realm until I get to, I believe, either episode 7 or episode 8, depending on where I decide to leave with that. Before that one is done with its season 1. I am not trying to make these short seasons, but I really just go by the way I feel like where a good stopping point would be for season 1 for every storyline. Um, I haven't decided if Realm is going to have 7 episodes like Warring Minds or if it's going to end it with 8 episodes. Not like it really matters. I'm just kind of trying to figure out, okay, the timing of all of this is going to be a little different just because I started Realm kind of part of the way through Warring Minds, so it's like I feel like I owe Realm a little bit more in terms of getting something figured out for what the season finale episode, when the season finale is going to be for the Realm. Um, I do know that some creators make the end of season kind of a really long episode to show that, hey, this is the end of the season type situation. So I'm going to try to follow suit with that kind of unspoken rule with animators, um, to have the end of season kind of be a really big episode. I know there's animes out there that don't do that, like Black Butler. Their end of season one was not as dramatic as it probably could have been. But at the same time, it's like I haven't figured out how dramatic I want the end of my seasons to be. So luckily, I have a little bit to figure some of this out because I literally just started episode 7 for Warring Minds, and with me working 40 hours every week so far for the next few weeks, yeah, it's gonna probably. Sorry, that probably came out really loud. I'm trying to be mindful of how close I have this mic to me, but I it may take me a little bit to finalize the episode 7 for Warring Minds, but considering where I'm having Warring Minds end for season 1, yeah, it's probably going to be a really long episode, so I may combine why I wanted to be 2 parts into one just to make it a little bit of a bigger video, just to show, hey, this is like the end of this part, but I believe the next 3 parts may become one, just depending on how it goes. So I am not going to really make any promises on that. But even if the second part of episode 7 ends up needing to be its own thing, um, There we go. Who knew cleaning a plan would be so complicated? Now, where you put this bottle is totally up to you. I just like putting it right here. And try not to pull me and do that. Probably would have just been easier if I would have just, you know, put it on like the side of the pool or something. But I kind of seem to like to make things complicated, so. And this is our VIP section. There's going to be a bill back there to steal. You'll want to take the little figure that's there. And it never hurts to double check around everything. Hi, horsey, you're mine. Um, if you're worried about Big Jim getting mad at you, he won't. Thanks, Jim. He pretty much just answered our own question of, are we going to get in trouble for this? Yeah, no. Jim doesn't ever really get mad at Kowalski, or rather us, for pretty much stealing everything we can get our little hands on. Um, As long as we do our jobs and do it well, as long as we have Kowalski do the job well, he's usually happy. Here's cassette number 2. As long as we do the job and we clean up everything and get rid of all the trash and stuff, and are very thorough, like I'm being. It should be the girls' locker room, which should be our last red one, which is this one right here. He really doesn't complain too much if we take stuff. Oops. Big Jim, I hate to say it, I kind of agree with his men who are backstabbing him at the moment. He's a little bit of a softie. As long as you do what he expects you to, you're good. And here's cassette number 3. And then the last key we need is going to be in the sauna. So my timing was a little off because this is the guy we're carrying currently um is a mafia leader from a different gang. I don't know if he's actually like the head of his group, but he's a part of a different gang, basically brought in to help with the whole let's overthrow Big Jim situation. So yeah, that's who that was, and there's our last key. Something black is what I remember his name being, so it's just basically a turf war thing where the cousin or brother or whoever is in here is going, I can't take how uh, demanding Big Jim has been. He's getting too big for his britches. The whole let's overthrow one of the most powerful mafia bosses in the city just because we don't like the fact that he's the one in charge right now, I guess. It's a mafia thing, I guess. Anyway, the cousin in here, I know it's a cousin, it's not a brother, it's a cousin. Um, Pretty much brought in Mr. Black as seen in some of the shows where you see um, a up and coming mafia person is wanting to show their mettle by taking on someone they know is like essentially the cream of the crop when it comes to what they do, and say, hey, look at me, I earned my medal by actually killing my family member, and look how weak he actually was because he was dumb enough to lower his guard around me because I'm family. Yeah, no, that's not how Big Jim works, unfortunately for this guy. Um, the only one that he seems to have a soft spot for, and this is just my take after playing this game once, but the one he seems to have a soft spot for, or actually, um, well, ones he has a soft spot for is one, his daughter, and two, for whatever reason, seems to be our guy, Mr. Kowalski. Probably because Big Jim knows he's a father too. And the main reason Kowalski is doing this work is to help make sure his daughter actually lives to see him again. Because from what we read here and there on the medical reports, whatever Elena has is really critical. So it's probably one of those situations where it's almost like early childhood leukemia or late childhood leukemia that's really about to kill her. And basically, we need this really expensive treatment to ensure our daughter doesn't pass along the way. Yeah, that's just sort of my 2 cents on that. I could be way off, but I don't think I am. Let's pick this up before I forget. Um, to get that upper part, you're definitely going to need the power washer. Anyway, yeah, for some reason, known or otherwise, Big Jim has a soft spot for both his daughter and Mr. Kowalski just because they're both dads, and he knows the only reason Kowalski is agreeing to this, other than the fact that, Big Jim is the biggest and most powerful mafia boss in the game, is that he is desperate to save to get the money he needs to save his daughter's life, and Big Jim would probably do the same thing. Or not. You just clean enough of the room to where the room's like, oh, hey, here, let me be nice and be magically clean. Ugh. Anyway, I forget it does that. So now we're pretty much done in here, other than needing to refill the pool and getting the last item we need from the men's locker room, and pretty much just getting out of here because we've gotten all the evidence and we've gotten all the bodies out of here. Um, Let me make sure real quick that I do not need to do anything else. So the secret is the VIP room, and it's saying tape 1 and 2, or where we already found them. Tape 3 was in the water room. Okay, so yeah, I didn't need to flush the girls' bathroom toilet. It was just the one in the men's. At least I don't think. Let me double check. Okay, don't forget to flush the toilet. Yeah, it's showing a blue light, so it's just the one in the men's bathroom. Okay. All right. So we're done in here. Gonna go ahead and close that because we're not going back in there. We close you. I would say you could go close up the VIP room and the room where we unlock the VIP room, but there's no way to close those rooms back up, so we won't worry about it. And this locker is just sort of another miscellaneous locker that you just have like a bag of drugs and like 3 rings to steal. I'm assuming it has something to do with that gang person that we just hauled to our quote unquote elevator truck. Make sure you grab your light because it will count against you if you don't pick it up. It won't count any points against you or anything if you leave all the lockers open, because it hasn't so far. So that completes the spa and wellness cleanup, aka the whoops trial by blood. So this is our first completing our first big mission with Big Jim. And we basically, like before, get our level breakdown of how well we did the game. Got all the evidence, got all the bodies. Woohoo! Now it kind of shows a brief list of what we stole. We made a bit of money. And now it shows how many experience points we earned doing this huge job. All 3 cassettes have been found and both secrets have been found. Now I didn't need the walkthrough cheat sheet to help make sure I didn't miss anything. Just because I was able to complete this area minus remembering to flush the toilet on my own without any help, so I knew what I was doing. As you're playing the game, it is pretty easy to 100% some of these areas and find all the cassettes, the secrets, stuff like that, but there are areas where it is tricky to find all of it. The next one, I believe, has something to do with the pizzeria. Okay, now we gotta go find our phone again. So this is our after mission phone call. Where is it? There it is. Anyway, that was Big Jim essentially doing a drunk call. Um, here's our family portrait. And this is once again the same information we keep bringing into with the breakdown of our daughter's disease, what kind of treatment she needs, what kind of payment we're looking at, different stuff like that. Luckily, now that we've gotten to this point, Elena's room hasn't changed yet because we haven't really done enough missions yet, so don't worry about Elena's room changing yet. But luckily with us doing the flush earlier, we don't have to flush the home toilet anymore to complete the down the river achievement with the toilets. It's saying to go to bed, but let's go downstairs and check out what emails we've gotten because we just completed a mission. And here's all the cassettes we have so far. It says to interact with them, but you can't really interact with them. Okay, here is Big Jim's email saying, as you already know, my cousin Mike's not well anymore, but thanks to you, his wellness center looks just fine. Like nothing really bad went down inside. By the way, all the people who died there committed the unforgivable sin of disloyalty. Let this be a lesson to all backstabbers, but you did a good job, Kowalski. You're hired. Soon I'll have another task for you, Jim. I can't believe I've never thought to come down here both before and after a mission just to see what emails we had. I've checked it beforehand because that's how we get our missions, but I never thought to check after. So basically, like the game is saying, we go to bed and then we get another call for our next job, which is going to be toxic love. Mm-hmm. And there's the invoice for the medical treatment that we need for her. So toxic love is not going to be assigned to us by Big Jim. It's going to be assigned through one of his underground contacts that just literally just sends us an email. And then we pretty much do what we've been doing, accept the mission, see what Elena's had to say because she will be emailing us before every mission. See if there's anything else from the doctor other than to say, hey, we need you to pay us money in order to save your daughter or to keep her here. And accept the new mission, which is toxic love, get in our car, and then just go get busy. So, considering it's late here, our time, I'm going to call it a night here with us not accepting the mission yet. So, I will catch up with you guys on the next one. And we will be jumping right into Toxic Love. And I will be talking to you guys on the next playthrough. Which game it's going to be on, I don't know, but have a good night, everybody, and thanks for watching. And yeah, let's just keep this momentum going because it's awesome because I've never done so many videos back to back before. So this is awesome. I'm getting out of my funk. See you guys next time.